Well, we're underneath the hood in the engine compartment of our 1969 Plymouth Roadrunner, a real RM car. Great color combination. It is the correct color for the car. This particular car does not have power steering. It does not have power brakes. But what it does have is the correct date code, number correct 383 engine that this car was born with. Still retains its original cast iron intake manifold. It has the Carter AFB carburetor that came with it, Presto Light distributor, the original type cast iron exhaust manifolds that these cars were released with. It does have an aftermarket set of finned aluminum Mopar Performance valve pan covers, which doesn't detract at all from the value. It has a 26-inch radiator in it. This car is just as straight as you'd ever want to find one. It's really a great car. 7-blade fan, correct air cleaner for the air grabber induction hood that this car had, which was a great option, very expensive option to put on a car if you're restoring it today. Do yourself a favor, price the air cleaner, the air grabber, and the hood, and see what that costs just to buy those on eBay. You'll be really, really shocked at the number. Still has its original fender tag depicting all the options that this car was born with. Original core support on the radiator. Car's never been in any trouble of any type. Just a great, great car underneath. New plug wires. The hoses are all fresh and new. Wiring is all fresh. Brand new battery. Original beep beep horn. Heater hose is still hooked up, and they even have the original style bracket that bolted to the fender well. Really a great car. Engine compartment is just the way it would have been in 1969 when the car was released, with the exception of the Mopar finned aluminum valve pan covers. Great looking car in the engine compartment. Well, let's see what's around the rest of this guy. Okay, you're at Hanksters in Daytona Beach, Florida. And our guest today is a 1969 Plymouth Roadrunner. This particular car is a numbers correct car, the correct driveline that this car was born with, and the correct numbers matching engine. This is the first time I'm going over this vehicle, so I'm going to find some faults on it, I'm sure. I'm going to show you everything that comes up that I can see. We try to present these to you in the best possible way, that whenever you receive the car, there's no surprises. If there's a defect, I want to find it and point it out to you. So we're going to go over it together. The engine is a, like I said, numbers matching 335 horse rated 383 that it came with the cold air induction. They didn't give it a horsepower gain for the cold air system, although there actually was one. It was a substantial gain. Very underrated at 335 horsepower. These cars ran very, very well for what they were. Okay, going across our Roadrunner. The hood, the paint is very, very nice on it. It does have the correct finish striping that came on these cars, and installed the correct way also, linear with the windshield post as it comes down, with the correct red inserts for the cold air induction. The hood and fenders just made absolutely beautifully. About 1/8 of an inch or so gap the whole way around, and you can see it's very linear the whole way. And on the driver's side also, 383 designation, because that's what's in this guy. Look at the fit on this car. I mean, there's absolutely no deviation whatsoever on the hood fitment to the fenders on this vehicle. Absolutely as sweet as you could get. Argent around the headlight bezels, as sweet as could possibly be. These grills usually have a lot of wear through the years. This one shows absolutely none. Absolutely zip. And it is original. Original bumper. I don't believe this car's ever been re-chromed with the bumper. Filler panel's nice. It's not bent or dented in any way. Nice amber parking lights in it. No dings or marks on the front bumper at all anywhere. And again, Plymouth designation on the front. I don't see a single thing on this car that there's not a single stone chip or a ding or a mark or a deterioration of any sort on any of the anodized aluminum in the grill area, the headlight area. Bumper fitment is just absolutely stunning on this car the same way. It's just a very well-fit car. I can't believe how well this hood fits. I mean, usually there's a little tiny bit of deviation somewhere. There's not any. Well, let's see what we can find on the driver's side. Okay, down our driver's side of our 69 Roadrunner. Nice addition on this car. You can't see it probably in the video, but this is a reflective type of material striping that was an option that you could get on the side of this car in 1969. Really a great add to this car. It doesn't show up so much during the day, but at night this thing just kind of blares right out at you when the lights hit it. Great little option on this car. Side marker lights as sweet as can be. No fender lip moldings on this particular one, but also no pulls in the fender or anything. The tin is as sharp, as nice as could be on this car. Door fitment, you can see, is just into the rocker panel the same way. There's absolutely no deviation, none. And the header panel to the door, to the fender, everything fits just absolutely gorgeous, absolutely as nice as can be. Little bird there doing a little running for us. Correct wiper arms and blades. Trim around the window. Really, really nice. Tin windshield in the car. There's no wipes or smears or anything from the wiper blades eaten into the glass through the years. Where the dashboard transitions onto the base of the windshield, there's no dirt or deterioration or anything that shows anywhere or anything through the years. Nice as could be. The vents are even the original vents and still good, not broken up. Dash pad appears to be just as it was when it was new also. Wing. Chrome around the wing is just as sweet as you'd ever find. Standard mirror, not adjustable remotely, but it's just a standard mirror. Paint on the door is as nice as you'll ever find. Looks like the original wipes, whiskers on this particular vehicle, and they are absolutely gorgeous. Door handle, it's original door handle, and it's almost as perfect as it was when it was new. The window fitment is just exemplary. Look, you could stand here with a garden hose trying to get water inside that car and not succeed. Door to the quarter panel, pretty much the same as everywhere else, just as sweet as you'd ever want to find. Whiskers, wipes, rear window, the same as they were in the front, absolutely gorgeous. Vinyl top. Got to always look on the edges and the drip rail, around the drip rails, which, by the way, there's no marks on the drip rail either. Almost missed that. But the vinyl is it's still nice and tight to the steel top as it would be when it was new. There's no raised areas where it's got some moisture in it and it's starting to raise from rust starting on the metal underneath the vinyl. This has absolutely none. Can't even fit your fingernail between the molding and the vinyl top on this car. And again, the stainless around the rear window the same way. Original hat rack, shelf, whatever you want to call it. It's faded a little tiny bit. You would never even think about replacing it. It's just an original car that's as sweet as you'd ever want to find it. A little bit of, have to get Jeff to clean the glass a little bit here on the base of the glass. Rear light. Nice sharp metal on the fender lips, just undisrupted through the years. Forgot to mention Kelsey Hayes wheels. I mean, what better combination could you have with red lines and a Kelsey wheel that would have been an option on this car in 1969? These particular ones are all chrome. 69s would have had a trim ring on them from the factory. Chrome ones obviously are much more aesthetically pleasing than the snap-on little fender or the trim rings, but they are Kelsey wheels with the correct Mopar centers and the correct lug nuts for this car. Okay, back down the quarter panel to the side marker light, nice and flush as it should be. There's nothing on the driver's side, absolutely nothing. There's no ripples, no marks, no deviations, no chips. I haven't found a single stone chip on it anywhere. The car is just as straight and nice a vehicle on the driver's side as you could ever hope to find. This is the first time I've gone over this car. Rod just washed it off just a minute ago. Jeff wiped everything down, and now we're doing a video presentation. So I'm assuming I'll find something that we have to address, but so far that's zero. Let's go around back, see if there's anything there. Okay, the back side of our 69 Roadrunner, and look at this. Look at this rear deck. Unbelievable. There is not an overhang. There's not. It's amazing to see something like this, especially a Mopar. Their fitment is a little bit subpar to some of the other cars, but this car is just as straight and nice as you could possibly hope. Look at this. It's unbelievable. Tail lights are real nice and clean. Argent area around them, and the chrome, no pitting or anything, no deterioration of it in any place that I can see or feel. Nice as can be. Let's check our bumper out here. Now that is what you call perfection. There is no way that you could that bumper fits absolutely flawlessly. The gaps, the lateral movement, everything, the lateral fit, everything is just as straight as you could possibly hope to get. Correct style exhaust tips with the correct overhang also on them. Backup light lenses, nice and clean. Our little bird on the back here just getting ready to do some racing. Nice car. Well, let's try the passenger side because we have found zero so far. Okay, passenger side. Quarter panel. Side marker light. Nice sharp tin whole way around. Really nice. Trim around the top, the base of the top, around the rear window. Look at this. It's totally amazing. I mean, I hope you can see it in the video because there is like no deviation whatsoever. Nothing. It's crazy. A little bit of patina, the original chrome on these door handles. It shows a little bit of wear through the years. You certainly would not replace it. Again, the window. Get the hose out because I don't know how you'd fit this much better than it is. Wipes, whiskers, still original ones. They haven't been replaced, nor do they need to be replaced. Again, no bubbles on this side of the top. The vinyl fits just as tight as can be in the drip rail area. And speaking of drip rails, absolutely no marks, no dings on that guy either. Chrome around this wing is the same as the other one, as sweet as could possibly be. Stainless around the windshield area, same as the other side. And again, this wiper and arm, original. Door to front fender the same way, the cowl area. Just totally amazing. Nice addition. Extra mirror, right hand side. It's really great to have those, and they do match in this particular car. Our Roadrunner running away there again. Chrysler Pentastar in the front, the way it came from the factory. Nice sharp tin everywhere. These Kelsey wheels with the red line tires really pop out, especially with this red screening area for the cold air induction system that this car was ordered with. Really a great addition to the car. Those red lights really pop out at you. We went over the entire car. There's not one single mark, dent, chip, nothing. And this is the first time we've actually gone through this car. We haven't buffed it, we haven't glazed it, we haven't done anything to it. All we did was wash it in preparation for this video. We want to get them up as fast as we can for you. And if there are any imperfections or deviations or anything, we want to bring them to your attention, but also to ours, so that we can go ahead and address them prior to us shipping you the car. We're not trying to hide anything here at Hangsters. We want to show you if there is a problem. We want to know that it's there. We want to address it before we sell you the car. This thing has zero. I couldn't find a thing on this car. Nothing. We're going to do the interior in it. I haven't been under it yet. We still have to do the undercarriage video. We just did the engine compartment presentation for you. So let's see what's inside this car. But the outside is absolutely 100%. There's nothing. Okay, we're inside our 1969 Plymouth Roadrunner. Again, the dashboard we pointed out from inside the outside, actually, looking inside from the windshield area. No cracks, no dents, no wear whatsoever, no fading. Original wheel radio. I haven't driven this car yet. We'll see in the video where we drive the car, but it probably doesn't work, but you never know. Factory tack, which is also an option. Instrumentation the way it should be. Beep, beep, Roadrunner horn. Steering wheel. That's a scratch. I thought it was a crack, but it isn't. Most of the time these things do have some cracks in them from shrinkage through the years. This one does not. It really does not. Dash is just as clear and nice as can be. All the padding around the dash, the glove compartment area down below your radiator, the surround around your wafer switches for your lights and wipers and flasher and everything are just as fresh and nice as can be. All the trim around the windows. Headliner is just as tight and new as can be. The hatch shelf, we already did mention it. It faded a little tiny bit, but nothing to deter. Original headrests in this car yet. They're not even done. I think this interior is original interior in this car. Does have a seat belts also, front and rear. Side panels, the armrests in the back with ashtrays. How about that? Ashtrays. Nobody does that anymore. All that is nice and bright and shiny and just the way it was when it was new. The door panels at the front the same way. Armrests, all the chrome around that. The window cranks, the door latches, everything is really nice chrome. Jesus. I found something. I knew I had to find something on this car. The stitching has come, this is severe here. The stitching has come loose for about 10 inches on the right-hand sun visor. I don't think it'll deter you from driving the car or using it, but we are going to get it re-sewn and we're going to still retain the original the sun visor, but the stitching has come loose on the bottom here. That will definitely get fixed. No deterioration on the mirror, and this is the key to this whole operation with this car. Look at this. 4-speed. Original Hurst shifter, original shift ball on it. It's supposed to look like simulated walnut, but brown plastic. Carpeting, no fading whatsoever, no wear on the clutch, brake, gas, emergency pedals. Reverse light still here. When you put it in reverse, it's still here and functional. Really a great, great car. There's absolutely nothing negative inside this car. It's just, it mimics the outside of it. I mean, other than, if you want to call it a major issue here, some stitching we have to show on the sun visor. Other than that, this car is as new as you'll ever find one. It is available at Hanksters in Daytona Beach, Florida. Numbers correct car, great color combination, and phenomenal originality to this car. You really should take a look at our Hankster site and not only look over this car, but go over a few of the other ones that we have. But this car is just an example of the type of merchandise that we try to present to you here at Hanksters. Fantastic car. Reverse indicator even works when you put it in reverse. Tachometer works. Right turn signal. The left turn signal. Alternator working, fuel gauge working, temperature will be coming up here shortly. We just fired it up. Beep beep horn working. Got a nice Roadrunner here. Let's see if the radio works. Oh, there's a surprise. The radio doesn't work. Hey, let's see. The wipers are working, functioning as they should. Car pulls to the left a little bit. So we're going to have to find out why that is. If it does pull to the left, could be tire pressure, could be a few issues. We'll have to determine what it is, but it does pull to the left. Let's see how it stops. Stops straight as an arrow. Brakes are fine. It just has a little pull to the left. Steering wheel needs reoriented also. The orientation is off on our little bird. Yeah, turn signals, everything seems to work as it should. The only thing I can see that an issue is the car pulls to the left. for whatever reason. Car pulls well, it runs like it should. Speedometer works. Temperature indicator is not coming up. It needs a new sending unit. Temperature indicator, we have to fix that. So that's the only thing. It pulls to the left a little bit, and temperature indicator. Other than that, we got a good car. It runs nice, power-wise is nice. Nice vehicle. Okay, we're underneath our 1969 Plymouth Roadrunner 4-speed car. The green one that we just did a walk around on and a interior presentation. Really a great car. This thing is a numbers correct vehicle. Does have the number correct engine in it and date code correct engine in it. Brand new starter. You can see the engine has absolutely no leakage problems whatsoever. The motor's been completely out, completely reconditioned from beginning to end. Nice as could possibly be. Heavy duty sway bar, 11x3 brakes in the front. New tie rod ends. Appears to be a new pitman arm. New idler arm. Both tie rods are new. Ball joints appear to be new. Brand new starter. New clutch linkage. Chrysler new process 4-speed transmission. Lakewood style bell housing, scatter shield, hydroformed. Subframes on the car are just as nice as could be. Some very, very light jack marks that you would expect from usage through the years. Car being jacked up, there's no other way of doing it. Luckily the aprons are unaffected by any of it. Someone was smart enough not to jack them up by the aprons. A lot of guys have a habit of doing that. It does have drum brakes in the front instead of discs. Parking brake is original and functional. Fuel line is the original fuel line. Floorboards are the original floorboards. They're pinch welded to the rocker pans just the way they were from the factory. The substructure supports on the floor pans are undisrupted. There's absolutely no marks or any indications that someone jacked it up on the floor pans through the years. Looks like about a 2 1/8 inch set of pipes, header pipes coming off of the cast iron header exhaust type manifolds. As new condition. The cross substructure going to the subframes, just as nice as you'd ever want to find. Again, a couple little places where a jack was put through the years, or possibly a jack stand. Very, very light indentation to show that it was there, but that's about it. Certainly nothing to compromise anything underneath the vehicle. Again, all the pinch welds just as clean and fresh as they were the day they were put on. Really a great looking vehicle underneath. Looks like no leaks on the tail shaft. Doesn't appear to be any leaks on the transmission that I can detect at this point. Definitely no leaks on the bell housing or on the engine. Let's go back through the other half of this guy and see what we can find. Okay, second half of our 69 Roadrunner. Original equipment style with the crushes on them. Under chassis mufflers have a nice tone to them. They're not as deep or as throaty as a Flowmaster or a turbo muffler, but a very, very nice sound. The way it would have been originally in 1969 as Chrysler released the vehicle. Substructure, same in the back as in the front. A couple of very, very slight indentations from jack stands. That's it. All the spot welds to the floor, just as they were when they were new. The torque boxes in the front of the leaf springs are absolutely gorgeous. There's no marks from being jacked up on them. No deterioration, no rust issues whatsoever on them. 8 3/4 heavy duty Chrysler rear end totally indestructible. Someone has added a set of Lakewood-style traction bars on this particular vehicle. The springs do have a nice curvature to them. They're a multi-leaf spring. I think there's 5 or 6 on each side, and they gave it a helper spring in the back, gave it just a little bit more of a lift in the rear portion of this vehicle. The trunk pans appear also to be all original. The drop downs and the fenders are just the way they were when they left the factory. I don't see anything on the floor pans that indicates that they've ever been replaced. The rear substructure, your subframes, straight as an arrow, no pulls on them even from someone trying to tie them down during shipping through the years also. So they have originality to them. It's just a really straight, nice, all original car underneath. Just blackened out, as you can see. Air shocks in the back, new shocks in the front. Again, air shocks that are relatively new in the rear of this vehicle also. Let's see. I don't see anything out of place on this. Absolutely nothing. Gas tank is original. It's not been replaced. Someone has added a set of different spring hangers in the rear to give the rear end a little bit more lift to it. 11 by 2.5 drums in the back to complement the 11 by 3s in the front. There's absolutely nothing underneath this car that's a detriment. No leaks in the rear differential area. I don't see anything. This is a very well represented original 1969 Plymouth Roadrunner. It's as it was when it left the factory in 1969. Nothing has been replaced. Nothing had to be repaired. Other than the few superficial usage marks through the years, there's absolutely nothing underneath this vehicle that's out of place. You can see the entire under chassis is totally free of leaks of any type. It's just a great vehicle. You have to take a look at it. It's on our Hanksters website here in Daytona Beach with about 80 other cars, so you might want to do some scrolling tonight. Look at some of the vehicles we have for sale, but this was an example of probably the nicest 69 original Roadrunner that you can find, and it's here at Hanksters.